Today, we're pleased to have Keith Edgerton, Construction, Sustainability, and Employee Transportation Coordinator for Providence St. Peter Hospital. Under Keith's great leadership and guidance, Providence St. Peter Hospital has made huge advances in energy efficiency, water conservation, waste reduction, and recycling, you name it. And in fact, Providence St. Peter Hospital was the Green Business of the Year last year in the large business category. So a little bit more about Keith. Keith graduated from Kansas State University in 1992 with a degree in architecture. He's got 25 years of experience in the field of medical and low, non-toxic residential architecture. He's worked as an architect, a commercial construction manager, and a carpenter for residential construction. As I mentioned, he's currently the Sustainability, Construction, and Employee Transportation Coordinator for Providence throughout the Southwest region. And he creates successful sustainability projects in Providence by educating staff, installing monitoring systems, and implementing cost-saving projects. And some of you may recognize Keith from the talk that he gave at the TEDx Olympia event a couple years ago. And so we're really honored to have Keith, and so please give a warm welcome to Keith Edgerton.
Hello. So I can't do the podium thing. I really am just so blown away to be here. I am so honored to be a part of this group. I attended this event last year for the first time, so I'm a little embarrassed to say that. But I had such a great time being in a room full of green businesses in our community. It just made me so proud to be a part of the same team. And I really enjoyed learning about some of the details of the green business activity. Now, I will tell you that I don't have a fun music video like Tags did last year, which was awesome. But I do have some fun things to share. So that's our hospital campus, taken from a plane. For people who are not familiar with our campus, it's a 157-acre campus with 57 acres of developed land. As you can see, trees are pretty important to us. It's a beautiful campus. We don't necessarily go to hospitals for good reasons unless you're having a baby, but it is a beautiful campus to roam if you're ever up there. Providence has a setup where we start off with a reflection for any meeting or event, and I thought I would start my presentation off with a reflection. So hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness. I'll have to tell you, I'm concerned about the status of our world right now. I feel like the earth is extremely fragile and things feel really intense to me. I'm a father of 2 daughters and I care deeply about their future. I also think that we're in an extremely meaningful spot in history, that the decisions we make now as a country and a world are going to greatly influence what our future looks like. So I do have hope. I choose to have hope. The alternative does not sound very exciting to me. And all of you help keep that hope alive for me. So I appreciate everything that you do. A little about myself. I love nature. I absolutely love being outside in nature. It's a huge part of my life. When I'm in nature, I am more relaxed. I'm more connected to the world and myself. It gives me great solace. It's something that is a part of my life every day. So whether it's cycling, kayaking, surfing, camping, when I really think about it, my greatest memories in life have been spent in nature with friends and family. And so the health of the planet is extremely important to me. So in 2008, if anyone remembers this, in about November, the economy decided to take a major downturn, and I lost my job for the first time in my professional life. I was a construction manager at the time. I was a single parent, and I was not too happy about that. It was really scary. And my current boss and mentor, Jeff Glass, who is the facilities director for the Southwest region of Washington, offered me a 6-month temporary position. He's like, that's all I got, Keith. 6 months, dude. You come in here, you're going to be a resource conservation manager for Puget Sound Energy. You hit the target of 3% reduction in energy use. We'll get a grant from Puget Sound Energy. That'll help offset your salary some. But he didn't want me just to be an RCM. So he gave me the title Sustainability Coordinator, or as he likes to call me, Mr. CSO, the Chief Sustainability Officer. Now, Jeff is an amazing man who, when he started in Providence in April of 1999, immediately took to sustainability. He wanted the hospital to perform at a high level while being sustainable. They were inseparable. And so he wanted me to tackle sustainability on all fronts. I ended up doing so well in those first 6 months that he could justify keeping me around. So for every dollar you spent on me, I saved the organization 6. So that was very exciting. I was glad to have a more quote-unquote permanent job, but it was still performance-based, and I tackled everything I could in the hospital, all the low-hanging fruit. Now, all of us know in this room that sustainability is more than tree hugging, even though I enjoy doing that activity once in a while. And as it's already been brought up, sustainability is a great business decision. If you lower how much you consume and how much waste you generate, you make more money. You have less overhead. You're more financially stable. But we've also learned that sustainability has a direct impact to the quality of life of its inhabitants. An example of that would be if you lower air pollutants, you reduce the amount of asthma in urban environments, mostly children. So this is not necessarily a new concept to some people, but it's becoming more prevalent. The Sisters of Providence, who moved from Montreal by horseback, insanely across country, I can't imagine what that trip would be like, to Vancouver, Washington in 1856 for the purpose of helping create a healthy community. They got that a healthy community was a benefit to everyone. So whether it was providing food from their organic on-site gardens or shelter or education, they were there to help people. And so from that, the sisters generated what's called the core values for Providence. And one of those core values is stewardship. And that's where I come in. I get to be a part of that core value every day at Providence. And as many of you probably know, the Pope's encyclical that came out in May of 2015 is imploring humans to take the health of our planet extremely seriously, because we all end up suffering when we don't take care of it. So I'd like to show you a couple of slides. This is just a quick overview of our hospital. So for anyone who's not familiar with healthcare, it uses a lot of everything. 1,800 tons of waste we generated last year. 25 pounds per adjusted patient day. Our recycling rate is about 23%. We use 47 gallons of water per square foot in our hospital. That's actually a good number. 10,000 metric tons of CO2 emissions just from our one hospital in Olympia. Since 1999, these are some of the things that I'm proud of to be a part of through Jeff's work. In 1999, we were using 62 million gallons of water a year. We now use 32 million gallons. We reduced our natural gas use by 21% over those 18 years. We still use about 800,000 therms a year. Our electricity use has gone up a little. We use about 20 million kilowatt hours a year. But keep in mind, our building has gotten almost 100,000 square foot bigger in that time, and we use much more energy. For anyone who's been to a hospital in the diagnostic imaging department, we have a lot of plug load at our hospital. So we're really proud of those numbers. This is a project that really changed the way we did things. So our boilers in our hospital heat all of the water, and we were pushing out 370 degree air through our boiler stack. And with the help of Puget Sound Energy, a $473,000 grant, we were able to take that air and keep recycling it and pulling the hot air out of it and reheating our water. So now that effluent is 130 degrees. It saves us about 42,000 therms a year, or about $34,000. This is our 120-yard organic waste compost. So as you saw, our campus is heavily treed. We have full-time landscapers. We used to spend about $8,000 a year trucking 60 yards off our property of yard waste and then trucking in new material. And we decided, hey, we got some land here. Why don't we make our own compost? So we started out with 60 yards. It became so popular that we added an aeration system, and now we have 120 yards. We're thinking about donating some of this excess material to the local school districts. We're going to give it to employees to fill up their truck if we want it. It's been a really wonderful program. And then the last project I'd like to show you is healing spaces. Believe it or not, we really care about healing. And hospitals do provide an ability to fix people, make people better, but for anyone who spent any time in a hospital, they are a sterile environment and they're not the most conducive place for healing. And so we have worked really hard at creating healing spaces for patients, staff, and family members to go to, because it's scientifically proven that nature helps heal you. Even a picture of nature in a patient room has an effect on the healing process. And so this first picture here is our third floor rooftop healing garden. It's next to our oncology department. This was all foundation money. Mostly the nurses are the ones who were baking brownies and cookies because they believed in this so much. Here's the same garden taken from our patient tower looking down on it. We have the two sheltered areas. It's a very low water use. It's just a fantastic space. This is another healing space where we actually grow vegetables in for anyone to pull from. Our inpatient rehab department uses this for rehabilitation of their patients to get dexterity back in their hands by weeding or walking on different types of surfaces. This is our ED Carn Garden. This is not something you can access, but it's along about 150-foot row of windows, and it's beautiful to just stare out at. Now, this is a staff garden. We had a temporary MRI trailer on site, and once that was done with, we decided to turn that into a garden. This is very well-used space, and it's something that we're trying to do all over our campus. For anyone who comes to our front entrance, this is a Providence Lane garden, probably the most visible one on our site, and just absolutely gorgeous. So I do this work ultimately because I love being outside. But I also do this work because I care about my kids' future. I have no plans to relocate to Mars. Planet Earth is my home. And so, as it's already been brought up, my daughter's future, hopefully my daughter's kids' future, I care about people. And I see all of the suffering and hardships in the world because of our unsustainable practices on this planet. And so I have come to realize as I've grown older that my ultimate passion is to help other people. And it's my hope that through my work from Providence Sustainability Program that I will actually be able to make a difference in this world. It's what drives me, it's what fulfills me. And all of you out here are doing it too. And I want to say thank you again, because all of you are making a difference, whether you realize it or not. I know sometimes it's hard to know if you are making a difference, but you are. And I appreciate that. You're making a wonderful difference. And as the Lorax said, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, it's not going to get better. It's not. And so thank you. Keep showing up. Keep being yourself. And all of us together are going to make this world better. Thank you.
How about one more round of applause for Keith? What a great job.